Like it's and like still this shit is like not good enough, and this is why people are like, "Fuck it, I give up." Like, what do you want
I
from
just
me?
love that she's complaining that bread is made with flour. Welcome to In Moderation,
The show where we give you a moderate dose of info, sarcasm, and we already know we're not approved.
Welcome to In Moderation, where the first 30 minutes of the episode were unaired of us just trying to fix Liam's microphone and camera.
No, I say we just release that. Forget what we're about to do. We just put out like us like, all right, and now click that. All right, what about that? I mean, top rated episode so far. Guaranteed.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what everybody wants to see.
You see what I have? For people listening, I bought a monocle that isn't a monocle. It's actually just a magnifying glass in like the shape of a monocle. I did it for one small bit in a video. And you know what? No fucking regrets. 100% worth it.
I was worried that your eyesight was failing and you started to need a magnifying glass.
It's so cheap it
Got to
already
read all
broke.
those chemicals in the ingredients list.
It's already busted, and I just fucking bought it. And you know what? I don't even care. I used it for the bit, and listen, it's funny, so fucking worth it. Anyway,
so everybody go watch that this week.
I know. It's been fucking long weekday everything for us. So like we do a lot of like React content, on our channels, like the TikToks and whatnot. So we're like, what if we just do an episode where we just like listen to some bullshit and talk about it? Because that's what we always talk about, right? It's like the bullshit's more fun. It's more fun than like the normal eat your fiber and blah blah blah. So right, like no one wants to hear about that shit. Oh, spoiler alert. Well, I don't know if I'm even supposed to say I'm doing it. So never mind. We'll keep it a secret for now because I'm not even supposed to. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it yet. But like, there's something cool I got coming up, and so yeah, looking for that in the future. I'll mention it at the time.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. But also, so yeah, we're just gonna listen. We're gonna watch some bullshit, react to it, and just have some fun with it. Like that's what this episode's about. I need that right now.
And so Liam has not seen any of these. Well, he might have seen them in passing and scrolling and stuff. I took a brief look at some of them just to make sure that they were, not stupid entirely. But I didn't watch like the whole things and stuff. So we are entirely blind going into this for the most part. And well, here's one from our, good old non-toxic dad.
I know. That guy.
Stop buying Costco rotisserie chicken. Here's why. You probably didn't know this, but this little peep is only about 6 weeks old. This is a specially bred chicken in horrible conditions, grown and fattened on likely corn and soy that's GMO to create this chicken.
Okay, can I just say, don't pretend like you care about the living condition of the chicken.
Like if you're coming at it from that aspect, like, I understand, like, they're bred in captivity. They treat them like shit. Like that part, like, I get, but then they take this fucking turn and it's like, well, they're given this food. Like, of course they're given like corn and shit. Like they're trying to make them grow like every time.
Chicken in 6 weeks that you're eating. They take it to a mass slaughterhouse where they dip it in chlorine and other toxins to make it safe, and it's leaving those residues on the chicken.
Okay, so chlorine washes are actually very commonly used in restaurants all over. It is illegal to use a chlorine wash for chicken in UK, Europe, one of the two, maybe both.
In Europe.
And that is specifically because they found people who doing chlorine washes they thought that made the chicken safe to handle, and they weren't following other safe chicken handling things, whatever. So they were like, okay, we're just going to not let you chlorine wash chicken if you're not going to be safe with chicken.
Yeah. Even the European Union said, yeah, like it's safe to use. We're just worried that they might not use other safety precautions. So
yeah,
it's fine. The amount, like, and I always find interesting, like, like there's those water purification tablets, right? Like those use like chlorine like
Yeah.
amounts of it to clean the water, and you can drink it. Like I remember I did something about this like chlorine wash, and I was like, you ever swallowed a little bit of water in the pool? Did you die after? And people like cracked up. It's like, did you die? That whole thing. And it's like
Yeah.
it's a tiny bit of chlorine. The dose makes the poison. Like a
Yep.
tiny bit of chlorine. Like if like you go by like a fucking, what you call it, gas station, you breathe the air. Like there's fucking toxins in there, but you don't die
Yeah.
because it's a small amount, right?
Yeah. Like the amount of what is it? Benzene?
Benzene, yeah.
Benzene that you breathe while you're filling your car up is quite high relative to a lot of other things. But
It's
I
definitely more than
still
that's
fill
in your
my vehicle
fucking,
up and I'm still living.
yeah. It's more than that's in your diet soda. People are like, oh, vitamin C reacts with blah blah blah, and it creates benzene. I'm like, the
Oh God,
fucking,
yeah.
well, never fill your gas tank then. All right, how about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, pretty
Stupid.
much.
All right, what else is this stupid?
This bird
What
isn't
else?
just seasoned with normal herbs and spices. They have preservatives in here like
Oh,
sodium
no,
phosphate
preservatives.
that's linked to liver and kidney damage.
Okay. Hold on. Sodium benzoate, or sorry, it wasn't sodium benzoate. It was sodium phosphate. Sodium phosphate. It can be linked to liver and kidney damage in, like, if you are taking like medical doses of it or supplementing it.
Which is why he shows it in a fucking vial on the screen. Like the fucking editors of this, they put it in a vial, like it's some sort of like it's going to be injected into you.
Because sodium phosphate itself is just sodium and phosphorus, like, and those are two things our body needs. It's just if you are injecting extreme quantities of it, yes, it's going to hurt you.
But he's non-toxic, Dad, Rob, so he tries to get rid of all the toxins. Duh.
I'm sorry.
Phosphate that's linked to liver and kidney damage, and carrageenan, which can degrade into polygenin, which is a known inflammatory agent and possible carcinogen.
Good old carrageenan.
Always the carrageenan. It's always the fucking carrageenan. Holy shit. How much, I can't imagine, how much like food grade carrageenan could be degraded into polygenin? It's got to be just some astronomically small amount.
It can't. It can't. You need to expose carrageenan to an extremely acidic environment to turn it into polygenin.
So he's just like, it can be degraded into this, so therefore it could be bad. Don't eat. Follow my advice.
Yeah, we're talking more acidic than your stomach.
But like, here's the fucking thing. So I used this video actually in one of my bullshit speed rounds, and all I did was when at the beginning he said, stop buying rotisserie chickens. I just said, make me. That's the whole fucking thing. I just said, make me, and fucking move on. Because fuck you. Like, holy shit. Do you really think Americans are unhealthy because they're eating too much rotisserie chicken? Like, that's the way I try and phrase it to people. Like, are people unhealthy because they're eating too many canned vegetables and rotisserie chicken? You would have a very hard time making me believe that.
Yeah.
It's fucking chicken.
Lastly, this chicken is hot, right out of the oven, stored in a plastic bag. Nobody really knows.
Oh, the microplastics!
It's likely a mix of polyethylene terephthalate. Remember that word phthalate? It's a known hormone disruptor, and this is microwave safe. So you're putting hot food into a plastic bag that can leach these hormone disrupting chemicals, and 117 million of these are eaten each year in the U.S. So share this video with your friends.
Is the bag melting? Is it so hot that the bag is melting?
Imagine the bag is just like fucking oozing and like the chicken falls out. Like, you guys fucking fucked this one up real bad. And it's always the fucking Costco. Let me tell you something. Like, every time I see like a video blow up from one of these people, like half the time it's the rotisserie chicken because people like it. And that's why they're like, oh, that's like my favorite thing. What's this random guy on the internet saying? He's saying he wants you to buy his shit. That's what he's saying. It's a fucking chicken. It's a chicken. God damn it, man. Well, and then they go on to be like, oh, you need this fucking organic, pasture-raised, blessed by the angels themselves chicken. That's, $85 per pound. Yeah, fuck out here.
Yep.
Oh, next. Fuck this.
Let's see if Tonic Health is going to give us anything better.
Oh, God, this guy.
Ripped off by your baby formula brand. Well, if you read this article, what you'll find out is that actually typically brands have to standardize their formulations, and the baby formula recipe is very tightly controlled by regulation around what nutrition an infant needs.
So that's very true. That is a very true statement. Oh, did I lose you for a second there?
Yeah, I just lost you. It just popped out for a second.
Oh. But yeah, the infant formula is very tightly regulated. That is a true statement.
Absolutely.
So when you look at something like Cow and Gate and Aptamel, they are literally like for like in terms of the ingredients and the nutritional profile that comes in them. But there's a £4 difference in price there, whether you want a Cow and Gate logo or an Aptamel logo. So really, what you need to do is ignore the brands, because you can even come down here to something like Bonya, which is $8.45. So you can save yourself almost a tenner from trading to Aptamel, but the formula is basically the same. So the only choices you have to make in baby formula are, do you want to invest a little bit more into something like HIP, which is then organic and removes the pesticides from the supply chain, or whether you want to come down to nanny care and choose goat milk instead of cow milk, because sometimes babies digest that better.
Okay, so that was almost good advice.
Yeah, I mean, like, remove the pesticides. No, that's not what organic means at all.
But also, all the different ones on that shelf aren't necessarily there for the same age, for the same conditions, stuff like that. Like that, he's, for those listening, he pointed to two that have words that are underneath them. And if I believe the first one, yes, was something, it was a formula for children who are constipated. The second one was children having regurgitation problems, reflex and regurgitation. So like different formulas are made for different things. You can't just look at the price.
And like you said, with like, goat's milk, okay, some babies might not be able to tolerate, cow's milk. So you try that. Like, absolutely. Yeah. And like, my thing is like, talk to your fucking pediatrician and not some like random wanker on the internet. It's like, it's fucking baby formula is one of the things that pisses me off so much. Like, you're gonna, and this wasn't even that bad. Like, I've seen like much worse when it comes to baby formula.
Yeah.
But like, like a lot of them are the same because it is tightly regulated. But I just don't like when they're like, oh, the organic removes the pesticides. No, that's not what that means. Organic absolutely still uses pesticides. They just use organic pesticides, which often aren't as effective, so they have to use more pesticides,
and in some cases are more deadly than
it could be. So like, buy what you can afford and what works for your family. That's like, I feel like every infant formula should just be like, well, have you ever thought of infant formula? Well, how about you buy what you can afford and what works for your child? Have a nice day.
There you go.
That's the whole video. Fucking 5 seconds. Nailed it.
Are you ready for some Paul Saladino?
Oh, who isn't ready for some Paul Saladino?
This is how Canada convinced you to eat engine lubricant. This is the crazy history
blame it on
of
Canada.
Canola oil. Canola oil is derived from the seeds of the rape plant. It's rapeseed oil, and it was originally developed in World War II to lubricate ships and steam engines because the oil sticks to wet metal. Now, during World War II, the United States needed to build a lot of ships, and we didn't really have enough of this rapeseed oil to lubricate the parts that were going to get wet. So the U.S. government asked Canada to increase their production of rapeseed oil to help with the war effort. But at the end of World War II, demand for this rapeseed oil dropped precipitously, and Canada needed to find a way to put so many resources into producing in high amounts. The problem for Canada immediately after the war is that this unmodified rapeseed oil is toxic for humans, containing significant amounts of a monounsaturated fat called erucic acid, which seems to be damaging for the heart. But in 1980, scientists finally succeeded in genetically modifying the seeds from these rape plants to make their oil significantly lower in erucic acid.
So apparently just for 40 years between World War II and the 1980s, Canada just kept growing this stuff and hoping that people would buy it, right?
One day, eh?
One day, yeah. One day. Like we instead of changing products or something, we were like, yeah, let's formulate this stuff over the next 40 years so that we can sell it back to the US.
But let's make it toxic. Just they don't know it's toxic.
Yeah, we'll just change the toxic of it.
Canola oil was born. Canola is actually an acronym that stands for Canadian Oil Low Acid. And today, it's one of the most highly consumed oils on the planet and especially in the United States. And if you listen to mainstream health authorities or the American College of Cardiology, they'll tell you this oil is healthy for you. But I beg to differ. There are multiple studies in both animal and human models showing clearly that seed oils like canola oil are harmful for us.
Whoa. Did you see that?
I love when he fucking just flashes shit on the screen for like 10 milliseconds.
Two of them were the same. So for those listening, he flashed 4 studies on screen. The last 2 of them were the exact same. Dietary intakes of polyunsaturated fatty acids, blah, blah, blah. Next one, dietary intake of polyunsaturated fatty acids.
Wait, was it the same year? Go back.
It was the same year, 1999 July.
Oh, this one doesn't have.
This one's got the year covered up, but it's the same study.
So did they just like cover up the
same
year?
Conclusion? So in order to pad his video, he posted the same study twice as if it was 2 different studies.
That's actually pretty fucking good. Because people aren't going to look at it. People aren't actually going to pay attention. You could flash the same study 4 times and people wouldn't even notice.
But that's so crazy disingenuous. Holy crap.
That's great.
I believe with this study, I think strong increase in hydroxy fatty acids derived from human. Actually, I think is this the study? It was looking at increases in 9-hydroxy oxidated, 9-hode in LDL for people who had atherosclerosis, and it had an increase in 9-hode when people had atherosclerosis. And it was saying that it wasn't necessarily, it's not dietary consumption of LDL. It wasn't dietary consumption of these. It's the amount your body is making when you're sick.
Right.
And they were concluding that it could be used as a way to, as a warning for people.
So kind of like erythritol, like the studies on erythritol being like, oh, it's linked to heart disease. It's like your body creates erythritol. They weren't even looking at the dietary intake of erythritol.
Yes, correct.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. And what I find interesting about all this is I remember Dr. Ids did a video and he's just like, yeah, I can find fucking sources showing that butter and tallow were used as lubricants thousands of years ago. Does that make them bad? Like, I don't, it's always just like with this group of people
as lamps.
It's just like this weird, just so basic where they're just like, yeah, but it's used to lubricate an engine, so it has to be bad. Like, I don't understand your thought process there. Like, it's
a good thing we're not engines.
Next t-shirt. It's a good thing we're not engines. And like when we the reason that Harvard recommends and says it's not terrible is because when we give it to humans in normal amounts that you would get from your diet, that it actually does show to be cardioprotective. Like every single time, like literally every single time. Can you find studies where there's like mechanisms where they're like, what if this converts to that and that? Like, sure, you can find that. What does the actual, like Elaine Norton would always say, what does the human randomized control trial say?
Yeah.
And it shows you every single time you give seed oils to people that it's at worst it doesn't make their health any worse, or it improves it. Like those are the two things.
Yeah.
Man.
Another problem with canola oil and other seed oils is that in order to get these oils from the seeds of plants, they must be highly refined, exposed to many extracting agents that are carcinogenic like benzene, hexane, and heated to high temperatures leading to oxidation of these fragile oils.
No, it's not. This is hilarious. Something I was thinking about today because I was making cat food, and the process of doing that is, of course, like kind of ugly. You're grinding all this meat and bone and everything, and you look at it, and I always think like whenever they're talking about seed oils, they show this video. For those listening, it's the video where they're showing how seed oils are being made, and they show the sludge and all that stuff, which, by the way, the sludge is the stuff that's being extracted. It's not actually in the oil anymore, and they do that to, you know, make you disgusted, like, ew, yeah. I'm eating this. The process of making most food is a disgusting process.
Yeah. And like the reason they use hexane and stuff is because it's easy to remove afterwards.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that it's not exposed to a high temperature for that exact reason. Like that hexane is used is because it has a boiling point of 60 degrees Celsius.
I don't remember. I remember it being fairly like low, so you can
it's no higher than 70. It's somewhere in around 60, and so it's extracted at a temperature that is lower than boiling water.
Right. It says 155 Fahrenheit, which is 68.7 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so yeah, it's not even hot enough to boil water.
Right.
And keep in mind, oils boil at a way higher temperature than water does.
Right.
And exposure to high heat in the distillation process leads to oxidation and the formation of significant amounts of trans fats. So these oils are toxic in so...
I mean, again, like if you just look this shit up, butter has more trans fat. Than
you can literally flip the bottle over, look at the ingredients, look at the trans fat, and it usually says 0.
It's a fraction. Like, again, butter is going to have more, and yet this dude fucking bathes in it and shoves it in every hole he has. Like, what? Yeah.
So many different ways. So don't be fooled by Canadian propaganda here or what you're told by mainstream health authorities. These oils are harmful for humans. They should never have become part of our food supply. In fact, I don't even think of them as food. The only thing they're good for is
like these videos I pulled are recent videos. I have Paul was part of there was a Republican thing that happened with a bunch of speakers just after Trump won. Paul was actually part of that.
Huh.
And it kind of sounds like he's jumped on the anti-Canada train in this.
Oh.
Considering he's part of that overall Maha Trump.
Well, yeah, if you're like a fucking grifter, like a health grifter, you're going to have to jump on that to profit more, because those are the people that are willing to spend their money on that.
All right.
Yeah, fucking always the seed oil thing, man. We're going to stick around with it for a while, but I think I'm hopeful that slowly over time, people will start to realize they're like, hey, it's kind of just more the overconsumption of calories, lack of exercise, lack of nutritious foods, the basic shit that we know.
Yeah.
That don't sell your fucking beef supplements.
All right, let's change things up with Hermes the Cynic.
Oh, Hermes is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Counting calories and tracking macros are eating disorders perpetuated by morons. If you're an obese or...
Okay, so they can be eating disorders or can lead to eating disorders. There is that. Right. Yeah. We'll give them that. But they inherently aren't.
To say anyone tracking their calories has an eating disorder, that's a pretty fucking wild statement right there.
Yeah. Tracking calories, counting calories is an amazing tool to learn how many calories things have.
Yeah, absolutely helpful. We've talked about it many times, helpful. But man, just be like, oh, it's just an eating disorder. Like this guy, like if you've never watched his videos, he rants for like 7, 8, 9 minutes, just like straight. And I'm like honestly impressed that some of his videos will get a lot of views, because like, man, the people sit there for like 8 minutes and listen to this dude. That's honestly pretty impressive.
Yep.
Overweight person, you're going to want to fast, and you're going to want to fast for a billion reasons. But in this video, because of the hormone leptin, you're going to want to do it because of the leptin response. You see, there's 4 human hunger cues you're supposed to be getting. There's I could eat, there's I should eat, there's holy fuck I need to eat, and there's cannibalism. Cannibalism won't kick in until you're at 1% body fat, but holy fuck I need to eat, that'll kick in at around 10% body fat and less. It's why when you're a bodybuilder and you're getting like stage ready, you're super fucking hungry all the time, right? Normal hunger cues are I could eat and I should eat. If you're an obese individual, you only ever get holy fuck I need to eat, because your body's so dependent on food coming in and it can't burn body fat adequately to keep the body running, that every time your insulin starts to come low, your body's bad at producing glucagon, you're bad at producing ketones, you're bad at doing all of the things you train in a fast.
So it's a misconception that overweight people have a slow metabolism. They don't. They have a fast metabolism.
Because they're a larger creature, so they're going to burn more calories just existing. The larger the animal is, the more calories it's going to require.
Like, you didn't get fat because you have a broken metabolism. That's just, no.
Yeah, like, I mean, it is true that, like, hunger signaling can be not in their favor. Let's put it that way, where they're just more hungry. Like, absolutely, that can happen.
So you freak the fuck out. Your body thinks it's literally starving to death.
and you get the holy fuck, I need to eat hunger cue, which is also being caused by a leptin response. You see, leptin is the hormone that's responsible for telling you that you're full. You ever been around a skinny bitch that eat 5 bites and they go, oh, I'm full? They have the healthy leptin response.
That is not healthy. That was anorexic. Somebody that's very skinny and has 5 bites and says, I'm full, that's not healthy.
Yeah, I kind of lost you there for a second. My internet's being a dick, but like I agree with you.
They are full. Your hunger cues are essentially, holy fuck, I'm really hungry, and then you eat until you're physically uncomfortable and hurting. That's you compensating for the fact that your leptin response isn't working anymore. The reason your
if you're getting hungry and then eating until you're physically hurting, your leptin is working because you get to the point where you're like feeling like shit. That's the leptin kicking in. The problem is you're either doing it too fast or you don't know where the middle ground is.
Yeah, that's my thing is like with these sort of videos, it just boils it all down to one thing. Like, oh, it's leptin, so for this and that. And there's a multitude of reasons. You know, there's people under healthy relationship with food. Maybe they have trauma from their youth and that's why they eat. There's a lot of things that can go on. But like these sort of videos will just like, oh, it's this. So all you have to do is blank. And then here's my program.
Yeah. It was Adam Wright, our interview with Adam Wright. He talks about like finding your zero.
Right.
And that's the most important part when we're talking about this kind of stuff, is that people tend, especially in North America, to just shovel food down their mouth until they feel full. And you're not giving your body time for the leptin response is the problem.
Yeah, and again, that can come for many reasons. Like a lot of people in childhood dealt with the, you know, like don't get up till you finish your plate. You have to eat all these things, and then like you have these things that grow with you into adulthood, and you're still dealing with them. And until you kind of at least work with those or start to work with those, that like you're gonna have trouble. And so like to just be like it's a hormone. I don't really like that.
Yeah, and the real solution here isn't to fast. It's to find the middle ground where you eat a little bit slower, let your leptin actually respond, give it time to respond, and try to find this point where you can stop eating. And in 10 minutes, you'll be like, okay, I feel good. I feel full. I don't feel like I ate too much. Adam said it was like a scale of 0 to 10 where people fall down to 2 and then they eat so much they jump up to an 8. Whereas you want to be more like down to a 5 and then bump it up to like a 7 or 6. And you just kind of stay in that middle ground area.
Right. And I think just like working on your relationship with food and being like, it's okay if I don't finish this, because then there's more people that are like, oh, I have to finish my plate. There's people starving, that sort of thing. And like someone who grew up, like I grew up not a lot of money. So like, I definitely understood like, I got to finish all this. Like, I get that. I feel that. So like working on that, be like, it's okay. It's okay for me to stay here, and it's okay if I don't finish this, and like giving yourself permission. Like I think that's important for a lot of people. Not everyone, but some people need that.
Definitely. How about we go on to your favorite, Gary Brecka?
Oh, let's fucking go, Gary. And let's do the whole rest of the episode.
I've been testing this for the last month or so.
Oh, what do we got?
6 weeks.
The jury's something around his neck.
The pad that they use in the bed works really well for her. This doesn't seem to work as good for her.
Okay.
But for actually working around the house using the caffeine setting to stay awake without caffeine.
Oh, I like this.
In a state of calm, a parasympathetic state.
Parasympathetic. I love that he threw that out there.
It's just setting a frequency that's mimicking certain compounds in the human body. It's
frequency mimicking
compounds. Don't be specific.
Off on the app, that response stops at a cellular level, and you no longer
cellular level. I love that. Yes.
Not under the influence of that compound. So I like the melatonin. I like the adenosine.
There you go.
THC and CBD settings. You're not putting THC or CBD in your body. You're only having your body respond as if.
People know those things are like can help. So that I love this.
I'm excited to see where these guys take this, but I'm giving you my 6-week check-in.
That was fucking good, bro. Gary Brecka is the fucking man when it comes to selling nonsense. I don't even know
what it was, and I want to try one.
Who the fuck? he didn't even say what it was. It doesn't matter what it was. I loved the saying like the THC and CBD, because people have like heard those are things, right? That like people are like, oh, it's in the news, like it says it seems to help people and whatnot. But I don't even have to take it. I just put this thing around my neck, and the frequencies from it help compounds in my body create more of that. That is fucking top notch right there. Bro, Gary Brecka's the best, man. When it comes,
apparently it's called Happy. Happy. HAPBEE. Happy.
Okay, no wonder he didn't say the name, because it's fucking stupid. But like everything else was really good. Like, man, when we get Alpha Water, can we get Gary Brecka to sell it? He'll sell the shit out of that, man. Like this guy
sounds like a plan.
I love that he's like wearing it. I love that he's walking and talking is great. I love that he talked about his family. Like, you know, like Brickett, it's like, hey, I'm just a guy. I've got a wife. We're trying this out. We're just letting you know, just a check-in. That's great. Give it more of like a realistic, like a human approach. Like, I'm not some dude like who's in an Eiffel Tower fucking talking. No, I'm just trying this thing that got sent to me. And like, you know, the frequencies work. Like, oh, I love it. That was good. That was good.
That's the idea of just an electromagnetic frequency triggering THC in your body.
Oh God, I can't imagine there's any research to support that. But you don't need it. And
you know what's amazing is I bet you I can find a video from him saying, don't sleep with your phone near you because of electromagnetic frequencies.
That's a different drop. That's a different frequency. That's a way different frequency. That was a bad frequency. This one works in harmony with your body. I love that. Wait, go back to the beginning. There was some real good stuff at the beginning there. Where I like
testing this for the last month or so. This is the Hap B, actually about 6 weeks.
Oh, he did say Hap B. Okay, he did say it.
My wife, the pad that they use in the bed works really well for her, but this necklace doesn't seem to work as good for her. But for flights,
okay, stop it right there. I love that. That was really good. That was really good, because you don't want to say the product that you're trying to sell people is perfect for everyone, right? Like that's bad. Like these people aren't going to believe that. You'd be like, hey, actually this part doesn't work as well for her, but it does for me. Like that. I love that, because it lets people know that like, hey, I'm just trying to let you guys in on this. I'm just trying to say like, I'm trying to give you the down low. Like it's not perfect, but it does work for me. Like I love that. That's really good. That was great.
And especially for him, because it's increasing the chance that you're going to sell both.
Yeah, like this works for some people, and like you don't know which one is which, and like you're not selling it as a perfect solution to everything. You don't want to do that because people won't believe it then. Okay.
Using the caffeine setting to stay awake without caffeine.
Caffeine setting. I love that.
A parasympathetic state, or get you ready for bed. It works really, really well for those. Remember,
I like the parasympathetic. That was really good too. You know, the big words. We need those.
Not actually putting you under the influence of those compounds. As soon as you turn it off on the app, that response stops at the cellular level, and you no longer feel
the cellular. Yes, fucking
cellular level in there.
I love that. That's so good.
There's also THC and CBD settings. You're not putting THC or CBD in your body.
Okay, you can pause it. You can stop it. Like that was just so good. I love that beginning where he's like, it stops at a cellular level, and like like people, the parasympathetic. I think there's something like a lot of people like heard of, and they have like vague notions of like what it is, and it's a big word. You're like, oh, okay, that kind of I get that. So being a grifter. It's a delicate balance of using things that people have have heard of enough, but don't know like all of the ins and outs, right? And using just enough like lingo and jargon and all that, but like keeping it grounded at the same time. Like he just does the best job of this balance, man. I'm telling you, it's so good. That this 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for like selling this product. I gotta say that was really good.
You know who happens to be an investor of this Happy?
Is it Bobby?
No.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's not Bobby. It is.
The first thing you want to do is you want to eat higher healthy fat.
It's inject your own urine guy.
And if you compare these high fat, low carb meals versus low fat, high carb, you're going to find that high carbohydrates are bad for you because having consistently high blood sugar creates inflammation. It creates inflammation because sugar in your body sticks to proteins in a process called advanced glycation end product formation, and that makes you age more quickly.
Hold on. Stop it right there. Like, I just got to say, like, AGEs are also what's created when you, like, sear meat. But I've never seen this fucker talk about that shit ever. He's always just like, eat all the meat. Like, plants are terrible. Vegan diet is awful. But, like, AGEs and the meat I sear, like, no, that's totally fine. Okay, sure.
Good fat is good for you because fats keep your glucose stable. They reduce cravings, and getting the right kind of fats is crucial. My favorite high-fat meal is grass-fed, grass-finished steak,
there it is,
and veggies
There's
with a lot of grass-fed butter.
And butter.
Why? Because I'm getting lots of good fat, and I'm getting lots of protein, and I have vegetables for fiber.
Hey, at least he mentioned fiber. I'll give him, like, I mean, this is pretty shit, but, like, he did mention fiber at the end there, so I have to give him a little.
I like how the beef is good fat just because it's grass-fed.
It's grass-fed, right? No, not the conventional with, like, they're given corn or whatever. That's bad fat.
That's, bad fat.
Even though, like, in general, good when we say, like, dietitians and whatnot talk about good fats, we're talking about mono and polyunsaturated fats that you get more from plant products, your nuts, your seeds, that sort of thing. But, like, for them, they just say it's... Yeah, I mean, overall, like this, but he's hopping on the trends too with like the low carb. Low carb is in right now, so like that's super important. And what he said is like, having constantly high blood sugar is bad, but like, that's why we have insulin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we have a pancreas. So I eat carbohydrates, and insulin is released, and then the blood sugar lowers. It's not staying high all day just because I ate a slice of bread.
Yeah, it's there's acute levels of high blood sugar, which means they last for a very short time, which is normal. When you eat something, it goes into your blood in order to get moved to the various parts of your body. So you are going to see sugar in your blood after you have eaten sugar. That's normal.
Right. But like when you have insulin resistance and trouble using it, that is an issue, and that's part genetic, and it can be due to obesity, and can be due to lack of exercise, sedentary lifestyle, that sort of thing. But no, let's just say it's because of carbs. It's just carbs. It's all carbs. It's sugar. It's all sugar. Fucking A, man.
Well, next up is our favorite taint sunning guy.
Oh, taint.
In Italy, they banned glyphosate in 2016. And if we think about Italy and the obesity conversation, they have a fraction of the obesity in Italy than they do here. But here's an interesting thing. They eat more carbohydrates in Italy than we do here. And they don't exercise as much. There's a fraction of the gyms. They do walk, but
what?
So apparently them having less gyms means they exercise
less. Right.
Because apparently you can't exercise outside of a gym.
And what do you mean by less gyms? Like per capita, like in the whole country? Yeah, the United States is going to have a lot more gyms than like the much smaller country. Like I don't. Yeah. Okay, sure.
That's the question. Why? Well, they banned glyphosate. They banned red dye. They banned all these artificial inflammatory ingredients. And that is why they're not seeing the obesity and diabetes crisis that we're seeing, because we still allow it in our food supply, at least for now. Hopefully this MAHA movement will get rid of them.
It's wild how you can go to Europe and eat croissants, pizza, gelato, and not work out. And you can actually be more healthy than if you were to be super conscious and mindful of your food in America and hit the gym every day.
Go to Europe and you suddenly lose weight, and so Europe food is magical.
Yeah, always the Europe's so much better. And like fucking the European food safety authorities recommend you get about half your calories from carbs still, but let's just leave that out. And their carbs are better though because of this and that. It's like, how about we just look at portion sizes? Like our portion sizes are just much larger here, and we move less. They like, I love that. He's like, they walk more. Like, yeah, they walk a lot more. They move a lot more than we do.
I like how they very briefly said they walk. Where is it?
Oh yeah, like, sure, they walk more. Like, just said it real quick.
Yeah.
A fraction of the gyms, they do walk, but yes,
they do walk. They do walk. It's just like fucking 1 second. They do walk. Like, they move.
Pedestrian in Europe is like they actually accommodate pedestrians, whereas in North America, everybody's like, "Get a car, idiot."
Yeah, drive around, and then you have larger portions, and like, yeah, that's it's always the Europe is so
And
much
not to mention the
better.
whole, if you go on vacation, you are going to be moving more. You're not sitting in front of a freaking TV.
Yeah, and you're not at home. At home, you snack a little bit more. But like when I go
Yep.
out, I'm like, this thing, that thing. Let's see this. Walk around there, and they're like, oh
Yep.
shit, I haven't eaten in like 9 hours. Let me go get some food. You eat some food, then you keep going.
And then
like,
you go to that restaurant where the portion size is about half.
Are smaller, and so
Yeah.
yeah, like no, duh. Oh man.
Some of y'all might remember that I did a post recently about bread, and I showed that none of it had molded in a couple months. And I got a lot of criticism back saying that the bread needed to be opened in order for it to mold. So I've been letting it sit out on my counter for a bit, seeing if it molds. Let's check on it, shall we? The last video I recorded was on February 2nd. It's now February 18th. So it's been 16 days later, a little bit over 2 weeks. And this bread has just been sitting on my countertop open. Yeah. No mold found anywhere.
Oh no.
Look at this.
It's not real
squishy.
Food.
It's exactly the same. Same with this.
Yeah.
It's still squishy. No mold anywhere. Look at this.
Why do these people hate food that lasts longer, Rob?
Because they're privileged and they're able to buy bread every other day.
It really is because they're fucking. You gotta buy your own sourdough starter and make it. And if the food lasts more than 16 hours on the countertop, then it's terrible for you.
Oh no! How dare our food actually last longer than a couple days?
I like that my bread doesn't go bad in 3 days. I gotta be honest. I would love that for that to continue. And and also it comes down to a lot of things like, water content. Like, back in the day, you travel a long time on fucking ship. On ship, you'd have like hardtack, they have that shit, which would last like months, and it's just because it's like really dehydrated. There just wasn't much water in it, so like
the humidity of her house is going to play a role in
right. Also that. So like, and so food manufacturers take all of these things and they do add things that make your food last longer. And I appreciate that. I like that my food lasts a while. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I also want to say that just because you can't see the mold yet doesn't mean there isn't mold.
That is also fair.
Because by the time we actually see the mold has been there for a fair amount of time.
Yeah, it's also true. She blocked me a
Let's
while
look
ago.
at autophagy.
She blocked me too.
The word breaks down into autophagy. It basically means that your cells have the capability of eating themselves. Now that sounds kind of confusing, but what I'm talking about is that your cells know how to repair and clean up the mess inside
Something about fasting. This is something about fasting.
A little lonesome, but
guaranteed.
Most of the benefits of autophagy you can just do yourself, like fasting.
There it is.
There's fucking already here. Yep. It's always with the fucking fasting. You will go, your body goes through autophagy all the time, constantly. It's not like just you flip this switch. People think of it as like it's on or off. Like, no, it's just fucking happening.
No, it's your body's ability to recycle leftover parts of dying cells.
Yes. And when you eat food, it might be like lowered a little bit. And when you don't eat, autophagy might be increased because it has to, instead of eating you have the food coming in, your body has to fucking start eating itself. So sure, but when you fast for a while, you're going to have to eat more food eventually in order to sustain your life. So it's going to be suppressed more when you eat a large meal because you haven't eaten in hours and hours.
Yeah, we see autophagy go up because your cellular turnover rate is increasing because your cells are dying faster because you're not feeding them.
Exactly. The fasting cures everything. Low carb, fasting, grass-fed butter, rub it all over your orifices. Fuck off, man. Jesus Christ.
Stop using toilet paper.
Already done. Fuck it. Just get out of here. We're already fucking on. We're like 6 videos in or whatever, and we're already in don't wipe your butt territory. And like, okay, unless you're gonna say like get a bidet or something, in which case, like, all right, fine. But like, I'm sure it's more the fucking path that it's all the toxins in your toilet paper.
Probably.
Just think about it. How do they even turn wood into something soft and perfectly white? With chemicals, bleaches, and toxic compounds like chlorine and PFAS. And every time you use it, these chemicals come into direct contact with some of the most sensitive and absorbent skin in your body, where they can directly seep into your bloodstream, causing havoc. This is why more and more people are switching to bidets.
Do you know what? Honestly, like, hey, bidets are great. Like, I think you use less paper. Like, you know, you probably save money in the end. Like, I think, can we just come at it from that aspect?
This is the first I've heard of toilet paper being made with.
I don't know. I usually hear the is it BPAs they're always saying that's in? No, not BPAs. No. What are they always saying that's in toilet paper? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I haven't done like a debunking on like one of these in a while because I'm just like, I can't with this fucking.
It's toilet paper.
Don't wipe your butt. Like, again, it comes back to, why are Americans dealing with health issues? Is it because they're wiping their butt with toilet paper? I really don't think so. I really don't think they're dealing with heart disease and all this other shit. Because and atherosclerosis because you're wiping your butt with toilet paper. Come on.
I would like to see the person who has lost 100 pounds because they switched from toilet paper to a bidet.
This is the exact video that people go, all right, I give up. I'm done. I'm just doing whatever. I'm just fucking smoking everything and drinking everything because fuck it. Like nothing's ever good enough.
Exposing how Dave's Killer Bread keeps you bloated.
Oh my God. Now we're fucking hold on. No, just fucking no. Because Dave's Killer Bread is always one like you gotta buy, even though it's like $9 a loaf, when I'm like, I'd much rather pay $2 for Kroger brand. And then it's still not fucking good enough because even the Dave's Killer Bread, no. It's got yes, it's sugar. Here we go. It's literally got flour. Like 1 gram. It has straight up like 1 or 2 grams of sugar per slice.
It's almost like people don't know how bread is made.
I can't. What? Keep playing it. Let's see. What the fuck's in the Dave's Killer Bread?
Sugar, wheat flour, and cane sugar. That's it. There's a little sprinkle of seeds, but this makes you gain weight, bloat, and have cravings.
Okay, no, they picked they picked one of them that has 4 grams of sugar. Like most of them don't even have that much. I see like they have like 4 grams on this one, like 4 grams of added sugar. Most of them don't even have that much. But like, look at it's all fucking organic rolled barley, rolled oats, organic blue cornmeal, like quinoa. Like and like still this shit is like not good enough. And this is why people are like, fuck it, I give up. Like, what do you want?
I just love that she's complaining that bread is made with flour.
Oh, no, it's got to be made with fucking pixie dust and mermaid tails. Like, it's just, it's never good enough. It's never good enough.
No.
God.
Every so often, on one of my videos, I get this comment, Eddie's fear-mongering and Eddie's been debunked by these fucking doctors. And I said to them, what's there to debunk about eating single-ingredient foods? What's there to debunk about stopping eating all this high carbohydrates and all this ultra-processed bullshit? Listen, there are thousands of people listening to me and healing themselves. If you don't believe me, check my testimonials. And the fuckers who are debunking.
Check the testimonials.
Check their fucking testimonials. See they're healing.
Yes, doctors often put up testimonials.
Yeah, I've seen some, like, I have a lot of people that say like I've helped them, and like it's any person you can go to and be like yes, this group. The question is just like. It's just here's the thing. Like, I really don't mind like a lot of the stuff when it comes to like the Eddies of the world. They're like, yeah, eat more single ingredients foods. Fucking dope, man. Like, really, like I feel better like when I'm eating just like whole nutritious foods. Like I think that's great. But like, you're telling me I can never have a candy bar. I can never, like, I go to the movies, I can't get popcorn. I can't get my fucking diet soda, my large, man, guys, the options at fucking movie theaters are so good when it comes to the diet sodas. You can get, like, anything, and it just mixes it in the machine. It's so cool. But you're telling me I can't get that? Fuck off, then. Like, I don't care. I want to be able to just enjoy my life and have a few things that bring me fucking joy. Like, these people are telling you can't have anything.
I really hate that, like, they push that healthy thing, but with misinformation, with like incorrect stuff. And then these people listening to that, they will learn the incorrect stuff, which might be okay in the moment, but might lead them to making bad decisions down the line.
Yeah. They're kind of doing like the ends justify the means. They're like, whatever gets people to stop eating ultra processed foods. And it's just like, but you don't need to stop eating ultra processed foods to be healthy. You just need to have them, as we say on this fucking podcast that's called In Moderation. What was again? I forget. Doesn't matter. And like, help people. Awesome. Help people consume more whole foods. Like that's dope. But that isn't what gets the clicks and the views. And I get that. No. And yelling about, I don't know, Kodiak cakes or fucking Dave's Killer Bread or whatever is what gets the views. And I understand that, but like, it's just fucking exhausting.
You know what I love though? I love that I'm the person that debunked Eddie so hard he had to stop doing one of the things that he was doing before.
There was like the egg thing, right?
Yeah,
something about eggs.
Egg absorption and stuff.
Egg absorption.
And every time everybody asked him where he got his numbers from, he'd just be like, Google it. Yeah. And that's all I was like, okay, fine. Bet I'll Google it. And I found where he was getting those numbers from. And it was complete bullshit.
Yeah. But like he does it, like he'll just change to something else, right? Like that's what he does. He just says, it's just bullshit then. All this like, high carb. Like I eat a fucking high carb diet. I'm doing pretty all right. Like I love my carbs. You'll take them from my cold dead hands. Thank you very much.
Yep. Mentally, my mental health would be a lot worse if I didn't get my good cereal, good bread, good potato.
Potatoes, man. If you're telling me I can't have potatoes, go fuck yourself. Like I'm not. I won't even waste my time with that shit. Like really potatoes. Like I get like you French fries, high calorie, whatever. But like potatoes, just eating like a baked potato. That's why people are having issues. No, get out of here.
Well, we debunked 12 videos live.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, is that it? Like I don't know how much more of this I can fucking take.
That's it.
Man, there's just like I get it. Like I just said, that is what gets the clicks and the views. Like there was that first one that we looked at for like non-toxic dad. That dude gets millions of views by just saying don't eat rotisserie chicken because blah 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 blah. And
there's a reason why you see that getting repeated a lot by these people.
The rotisserie chicken, man, that's the thing I see so often.
Yeah.
Oh shit, people, we're not unhealthy because we're wiping our butt with toilet paper and eating rotisserie chicken. I promise you this. Okay, so whole foods are great, whichever ones you like. Please try and get more of those into your diet, but it's totally fine to have your diet soda and to have your treats and all of that, in moderation. I got some, I think I just finished them though. Was it Starburst, man? I've been on Starburst lately. I like them because they're in the little individual pieces, and so I keep them on my desk, and I'll have like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them, and I put it back, and I'm like, as 100 calories, whatever, not too bad. And then I also got my edamame snacks and whatnot in here, so like it's a fucking balance, man. It's not that deep, it's not that complicated. Enjoy your life.
Yep.
And don't be your worst. And don't be your worst, yes. Fucking don't be your worst.
Oh, and very quickly at the end, if you want to see me, Liam, Mike Pridgeon, Adam Wright, Jesse, I don't know his last name, from Progressive Overload, if you want to see us all play a D&D one-shot, that will be happening on my Twitch channel on March 16th.
16th. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played D&D in forever, but I love that shit. That's a good time.
So I'm assuming it's going to involve Mike hitting us in the back a lot.
Right. Listen, I already have my character set. I got my character set up. I'm loving it. I love this. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Everybody come join us.
Hey, wasn't that a great time? Listen to the podcast. I'm assuming you were just listening to In Moderation. So if you go ahead and hit the 5-star button, is that a thing? The like button?
That's a thing.
No.
Yeah.
The like button
5
on YouTube.
stars.
If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, not the dislike button. That's a bad button.
The like button.
Don't touch.
Hit all the other buttons. The share. You can go check out
all those things.
Subscribe. Go check out our Patreon. Yeah. We do have a Patreon. It's free to join if you want, or you could give us some money. That'd be really cool, like $1 or $2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have.
That's where you'll find all the news for this.
We're super appreciative. You can find all sorts of other stuff there. We do giveaways. I think sometimes. Sometimes. All that. Yeah, absolutely. So, peace.